things in your world, guys. We're traveling across the USA, and in this Joe Ditzel parody video, we're going to take a look at the town of Litchfield, Illinois. We're coming up on St. Louis here in a couple hours. I was at a truck stop a bit back, and a waitress there told me I should do a video about Litchfield, Illinois, because I told her I was going to be stopping in St. Louis. She said, you got to do one of your videos on Litchfield, so here it is. Now, Litchfield is an interesting town, northeast, let's call it, of St. Louis, and of course that side of St. Louis is Illinois, and that's where Litchfield is situated. Now, Litchfield has a fascinating history. It was founded in 1808 and settled a couple years before that, 1806, and it grew incredibly fast after that because a guy named C.S. Litchfield invented something that hadn't really been seen before and turned out to be one of the most popular products in the New World. And that is, if you've ever seen these little hooks that are on curtains or drapes, and they attach the curtain or drape to the curtain rod. Well, that hook is called a litch, and it was named after C.S. Litch, who invented it in 1812 in the city of Litchfield, which at that time was just a bunch of farms. He invented it out on his farm, and they named the town after him after the product he invented took off and became extremely popular throughout the United States, Canada, and England, and then from there on, after a few years, the whole world. So what came about that he came up with this product? Well, like many great inventions around the home, especially in the New World of the 1700s and 1800s in the United States, it came from a frustrated wife. So they had a home he built by hand, the family home on the farm in what is now Litchfield, and he ground the glass by hand, the glass that was in the kitchen windows, the living room windows, the upstairs bedroom windows, everything was done by hand. But his wife, who appreciated the workmanship and the hard work, she said, C.S., I need something to cover up these window panes because the sunlight comes right through there. And not only that, C.S., but the neighbors can see right in the bedroom window and see us in our nakedness. And C.S. said, Maribel, there ain't nobody that can see our nakedness except for them cows, and I doubt they give a care. But as every man knows, a happy wife is a happy life, and she wasn't gonna hear none of that about cows from C.S. So he said to her, well, I'll cut your deal. You come up with a covering, and I'll get to fixing to make it hang on there nice and smooth, so you can move it out of the way when you want to see when I'm walking up the walk for dinner. And she said, deal. Just get it done. Don't give me any of your slack talk, back talk. And he was like, wow, she's like a polecat in a butter urn in a cold compress in the middle of a chicken coop in the middle of winter. She's so angry. Whoa, no. So sure enough, I mean, you know, if you want something done, you got to give it to a woman, because they don't mess around like men thinking about it for 10 days. They get right to it. And she cut up an old blanket, put a ham on it, and said, there you go, CS. Now, if you can hang that nice and neat like, well, there might be some extra sugar in your cereal, if you know what I mean. And he's like, oh, here we go. So he went out to his shop where he had a bunch of tools and an old sawhorse, and that's where the cat stayed. The cat named Stripes, who just laid around, didn't do much, never caught no mice or nothing. And he took that cloth and he said, now how can I hang this hemmed cloth on the window? And after 400 or 500 different variations that he came up with, he invented the Litch, which has remained unchanged to this day and is sold in the billions. I said billions with a B. B as in billions. And it made him not only super rich, but a rock star of the frontier. And unfortunately, like many stories in the world of modern rock, his popularity and high profile led to the demise of his marriage. But don't you worry about that, because he knew that he would never have invented the Litch if it wasn't for his wife. So he gave her about $400 million in 1829, and they separated, and he led the life of Riley, touring around the country giving demonstrations at 7-Elevens and Costco's and county fairs, demonstrating the Litch. And he's a good-looking fella anyway, and he didn't have any problem meeting the ladies at all these shows. And, well, he led the rock star life, guys. And now in Litchfield, they have restored that original home, the original farm. And you can take a tour of it today. Now, you should know that it costs $25 to take a tour. And all of that money goes into the upkeep and restoration of that family farm. So it's worth the money, guys. Well, that's an amazing story about the St. Louis area, and we're going to have so many more videos about St. Louis and other towns. So come on back. This has been another Joe Ditzel parody video. We'll see you then.